Anyway, the album. Did all the recording go well and it all ran smoothly and stuff like that?
Well, it didn't really run smoothly because they sent us to Nick for 8 weeks and it took 24.
So you overspent a little bit.
Well, it just meant that every sort of 3 or 4 weeks it was like big problems trying to get more time. It wasn't really problems, but it meant that everybody was coming out from the record company going, you're supposed to finish 4 weeks ago, and we were going, how much longer do you need? Then 10.
But each time, they heard every sort of segment, they realised how good it was going to be. We always managed to get it.
I kept playing the money in.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Everything turned out like we wanted it to.
Did you have fun recording it?
Yeah, it was probably one of the nicest times we've ever had. Just planning all the artwork and it was nice residential studios. We all had our own rooms. First time we've been able to sleep on our own for ages.
Yeah.
No, it's really nice.
Yeah, because we spent the first 6 months of the year either just like touring or living with our manager, but it meant that because there's not enough bedrooms there, we just took it in turns sleeping on the floor down in the kitchen and that. So it's just good to get your own place again for a while. It's good it took so long because you had to add more time to get a Bomb Squad remix it, repeat and get Tracy Lords to sing or something.
Too pleased with the overall result and stuff like that.
It couldn't be. It is everything's perfect.
Yeah. How do you think it's going to be accepted?
I don't know. Really, people are going to be really surprised.
I think they are, because it's like a pretty straight rock album, really.
Yeah.
Musically, definitely.
I mean, even people, say Andrew Collins at the Enemy is featured out there. He really likes us, and he came down the last Enemy interview he did, and when you played him, the one track he finished, and he was like, fucking hell.
Flash and burn, that's AC/DC, man.
He was just really shocked because he just wasn't.
Well, people shouldn't be that surprised because they've heard the repeat single and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So it's that kind of stuff. So I mean,
it's like People's Prejudice still label us as a punk band, and they just the guitars in repeat, nothing to do with punk anyway. Really.
That's what it always really we did come from a punk background in it. The Sex Pistols and the Clash were really exciting to us when we were young, but just in the same way as the Rolling Stones or the Who were. And all sort of hard rock bands were really exciting to us. Just that when we were playing live, because we wanted to move around a lot, it was always going to be really chaotic and disorganized. And people always pinned this as 1977 was the most important moment in our lives, which it wasn't.
When we started, we really made an effort to say we liked Guns N' Roses, and people just laughed at us or couldn't believe us.
Yeah, I know, that sort of shocked a few people, didn't it?
Yeah, it totally did. And when our live performances at the start, when you're playing stuff like Derby or whatever, you can't. There's no point being proficient musicians anyways.
Smash it all up.
Yeah.
Did you think you've changed a lot since Motown Junk and all those things, first singles?
More musically? Or?
Musically, and sort of with the band and stuff.
I think musically, definitely, we developed. We just become what we said we wanted to become, which was a rock band. No one believed us at the start, but no one can deny it now. I don't care what anybody says. The album is a straight ahead rock album.
When we started talking about rock music, it was nothing like let's lie on an LA beach, cruise on Harley Davidson, dancing sister. That wasn't never what our idea of rock was, because we were brought up on all classic rock bands, and it always just meant more than a kind of really banal sort of LA lifestyle.
Oh, we're getting into that now.
So how did you get Tracy Lords on singing on the album? How did that all happen?
It's just our A&R man in Los Angeles sort of looked like our side of it over there.
Yeah.
Knew it really well. And she came in and said, one of these guys, the ministry preachers, and we was looking for someone to sing at the time, and he played her the video and the demo of the song, and she really loved it.
And then she called me up at the studio, and we spoke for about 20 minutes. And she was really keen to do it, so she flew in to our London show and recorded it the next day. It worked out really well.
Oh yeah, that song sounds really cool. She's got a really cool voice actually. Does she record much stuff? I've never heard her sing before.
No, she's never done anything.
She's done.
It worked really well. It took a long time at the start. She sounded like Joey Ramone.
Right, that's alright.
But it just worked perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, she did it in a day. Yeah. Which is really cool.
How about the Bomb Squad thing? How did that work? Because you've been wanting to do that.
It was brilliant because we sent over the tapes and went you can do anything you want. We're not going to give any instructions.
Yeah.
I mean, they spoke. James was speaking to him quite regularly just to find out what was going on, really. But we didn't know what it was going to be like till they sent back 4 different mixes. And we left them all and we just picked our favourite for the LP.
Yeah, were all the mixes pretty different, or was it just...
Well, it was
sort
some
of
with like
theme,
no vocals.
But, you know, I think that is really original as well, the Bob's Got music, because it's not just ordinary rap music.
Yeah, yeah.
Or rock music, it is probably the
It stands out on the album itself.
Yeah.
It goes into that.
You know, we're really happy to have that on there.
Are you going to release any other mixes as B-sides or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, I
I
might
might-
put them on like
yeah.
and change the extra tracks.
Because the instrumental mix is really good, that's different.
Yeah.
That ends, the instrumental ends with the Sex Pistols sample later on as well, which is really good.
Excellent. Did you see Public Enemy with Anthrax last week?
No, well, we only arrived up here last night. We was on Sunday night. We was going to go and see him, but we had to shit select photo session.
No. What do you think of that Anthrax touring a band like Public Enemy? I mean,
It's perfect.
yeah, definitely.
So at the time, it was like a record we wanted to make, bring the noise,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't.
Yeah. Would you be into doing something like that with a band like Public Enemy?
Oh, definitely. We'd like to get Ice-T the guest on some stuff.
Oh, that'd be excellent. Because I thought that Public Enemy Anthrax gig was going to be a bit violent, to say the least. You mentioned those two audiences. You got your really young rock audience and then real hardcore black audience, but it went by really peacefully.
Because last time when they came over Public Enemy, I mean, we know people who went up to Manchester, I think, and they said outside it was really fucking horrible. Like,
it was a bit. I mean, there's police everywhere, and it was a lot more peaceful than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. It's really cool to see black people really getting into Anthrax as well, and it's just a great idea. So what happens after this album? I mean, you're going on tour for a while. Is that just England?
well, everywhere will be there. Eating too much food. We finish the tour, and then we go to Europe and America, but more just like, you know, do 2 weeks, just
Our own club
sort of
gigs.
showcase kind of gigs. Come back over here, release another single, go to Japan for a bit, then go back over to America. There's a sport act with somebody, you know, hopefully.
So how do you think you're going down all these other countries? 'Cause you haven't really played much outside England yet, have you?
No, I've only done one gig in Paris.
In Paris, there was one we
Oh, that's
did
right, yeah.
with sort of, that was like a heavenly showcase, you know, really early on last year.
Well, we were really looking forward to going away. You know, I think people just judge us more honestly. It does get a bit, you know, we are sick and tired of being judged on our image and stuff like that. Although we always want it, it does just get
Do people in America and Japan or the other countries know much about the bands and all the stigma that's kind of attached to it in England, all that
not,
enemy?
you know, not so much. They know that we've sort of burst onto the scene, but like all the reviews we've had in America say we were a cross between Nine Inch Nails and Cheap Trick.
Really?
They really, big Cheap Trick. One even said we sound like Boston. You know, real mid.
And another one was called Smashing Pumpkins, and I don't know what the fuck they think we should do Smashing Pumpkins.
You know, we've got some good Guns N' Roses and Hanoi Rocks, lots of Hanoi Rocks in Paris.
It should be really good though, because they won't have a, you know,
Yeah, they just
formed opinion of the band already.
hear the album and, you know, take it from there.
One thing, you know, when we read, like we're starting to get like magazines from most of the countries now, and the journalism is so much more rooted in actual music rather than just like kind of inventing the paper sort of ideology or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's only places like England which actually believes things like Eddie Cochran was an anarchist. That he was like, you know, everybody else just thinks he made good
Or
band.
David Gedge is a good song.
Yeah.
It must have really pissed you off though. I mean, so many people didn't listen to the band at all. It's just like,
I know,
just
I
wrote
mean,
you off completely.
I still to
as a
this
joke.
day, I think Motown Junkie, you know, is a brilliant record.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
do
it's
as
that
well.
punky anyway. No, it's obviously energised, but
Mm.
if it is punk, at least it's, you know, the Clash and the Sex Pistols anyway. It's not third rate at all.
Mm.
And you know, there's stuff like Spectators of Suicide, which is the B-side of You Love Us, which is more like Pink Floyd than anything else. And just, we have been misjudged in a lot of ways. I know we asked for it, but sometimes you think, writers find it really hard to write about music these days. They haven't got like the Nick Kents or the Graham Artists who can actually write about music.
Yeah.
I mean, people were frustrated because they thought we were hype, but like we're from like a piss poor town in Wales. We never had a manager or like a press officer. We spent like a whole summer just writing and phoning people. You know, people like Stephen McAnemy, and that's how we got like Philip's address. When we came out, we wrote Philip really long letters, like phoning him all the time. Till at the end, we were like bugging him so much. Yes, he came down to see us rehearse
In New
Wales.
Bridge School.
Yeah, just in a school. And then we got a couple of gigs, paid to play gigs in London, you know, like the Rock Art and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then we just like,
Several places.
we picked up a melody maker like Rivera, and then we got an agent. After that 14 gig, we got an agent after that. We did a few shows. And then when we got off, like, Uncover Sounds in January, it was like they phoned up and just wouldn't let me know, we haven't seen a band like you for a long time. And you're saying something different from every other band that's round.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to put you on the cover. And like, sort of people thought that was a big hype, but they didn't realise that we'd spent like a year before that just like trying to get any kind of show we could, trying to get like a manager, trying to get an agent. We did all that, ourselves.
Yeah, so have you managed to get across to the rock audience or heavy metal audience yet?
I think it's, it's just starting now, the crossover. We've got a single of the week in Raw.
Because it always really surprised me, you go to your gigs and it's all pretty much an indie audience.
Yeah.
And it's like a total rock band on stage. And it's like really getting into it, and it's really there'd be no metal fans there at all.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
At the start, especially. So towards the last couple of tours, from Stay Beautiful onwards, like stuff. There was a lot of more glam rockers coming.
The worst thing is there's probably no more. People always say like rock fans are this really cliched sort of prejudiced audience, but I think the indie mentality is much more ghettoized and much more small-minded. That like some people after seeing us, some come back and say, "Oh, I would have felt really guilty about buying like a Guns N' Roses record before. I saw you an Enemy." And it's like, why should they feel like that?
Yeah, it's just
they even feel guilty about buying stuff like Public Enemies if it's like a crime and they've been bought one the wedding present or whatever, and like buying a Public Enemy record somehow is.
A lot of people are so tunnel vision in their music.
Yeah.
They have to be into one thing and dress like this and dress like that, and just can't listen to.
And what they're fed by the media, especially the press, it's just sort of one-dimensional.
Yeah, tell about people what the bands are allowed to like. And everything.
The most predictable thing in the world.
So you're going to sort of like make an effort to push the band towards a rock audience, or just wait for them to come to you? Or?
I just think most things just happen pretty naturally, didn't they? I think when people hear the record.
Yeah. I just think when the album becomes as big as we think it will be, people will just naturally come to see us. The way we look has always been pretty like a rock band, I think. It's just we've never been exposed to that market. Because they don't really bother reading the Enemy and stuff like that.
Not really,
no.
They'll buy the metal press.
Good. I think it's better. Now we're getting those, and we got a session for Tommy Van's rock show.
Really?
Which is one of my ambitions.
Brilliant.
And we're going to do a cover of Alice Cooper Under My Wheels for that.
Oh, that'd be really cool. When's that going to go out?
We'll do it on the
25th of January, so I think a week later.
So how big are you anticipating this album to be? Because I mean, when you started, you were going on about the double album, #1, all that kind of stuff.
The thing is, I mean, we all remember saying things like that. It really just like the fact that we'd spent 18 years just with nothing to do. Like, I mean, the cinema closed down in our town, and we just spent whole summer holidays just like practicing in James's bedroom, just thinking about it. Just wanted to make an important LP. It was the most important thing in our lives. We said lots of times before, but we really had to sort of create ourselves and invent ourselves as a band, because nobody would ever see us play in the town we come from. There's always loads of local bands where we come from doing 200 gigs a year, all within about a 2-mile radius, and they're still doing it now. We had to convince ourselves that we were going to be different from all those bands, and that we weren't going to play in our own town. We were going to come down to London and try and get noticed, and that's what we did. So we always had to create a big ego, just to the early concerts we were doing paying to play was we would save up for 2 months or whatever, hire a van, 30-40 quid petrol, nowhere to stay, drive all the way up, do a show in front of 8 people, and then drive all the way back home, get an hour sleep and take the van back. I mean, we were doing that, and it's really hard. To keep on doing it, you've really got to believe in what you're doing.
Those times we were driving back, I had to play in front of 8 people or whatever, still convinced that that song went out tonight, it could be a worldwide #1.
Yeah.
And we still believe that.
I think, since we've sort of started getting press, I know a couple of bands back home have started coming up to London and doing it. But they play the Roby once, and 8 people, they drive back home and never do it again. They think, there's nobody there, and we worked for 2 months to get 100 quid to do that gig, and they never do it again. And with us, we were driving back thinking, we were fucking brilliant tonight. And that was the only way we could survive.
So you're still going to, originally you talked about splitting up after this album and all that kind of stuff, doing the one album.
We thought, looking at all the bands we ever liked, we saw what happened to the Stones or the Who or the Clash.
Yeah.
They got really old and just really boring and tepid. and we thought, you know, that was just inevitable. What would happen to most bands? That like we'd come up to London, and if we got any success, we would go to different clubs and parties every night. And we've been up here for a year now, and we still like just stay in every night, watch videos, watch MTV, just like take the piss out of everybody, you know, take a piss out of ourselves, you know, and just still really insular. We haven't made any friends in London really, so we haven't changed.
You know, the day we stop getting bitter is the day we'll split. When something doesn't bother us, I think be happy and we'll just give up there. You know, at the time when we set out about the album, all we said was, can't see anything, we don't want to look at anything as a career, all we see is doing this album, and it's done now and it's perfect. All we want to do is tour it and take it from there, and we just don't know what.
Because when you started, you seemed to have a real plan of what you wanted to do. I mean, everything seemed to be quite planned out. Are you just going to sort of like take it as it comes from now?
A lot of people, that's another reason a lot of people really sort of will progress, that everything did seem like a plan, but isn't it because we had spent 18 years with nothing else to think about being in a band? Like, we always knew the way we wanted to look, the way we wanted to play on stage. It was all really natural, and I think that's why music got, especially in British music in the 80s, got so sort of blasé and boring, was that nobody gave a fuck, nobody even thought about why they're in a band. It was just, let's go on stage, you know, let's have a few beers, play a song, think of a fuck. You know.
I mean, it's not even that much. All the plan was to create as much anger towards us as we could, dress up, you know, make records.
I mean, it wasn't a plan any different from most bands, just the fact that we actually said it. You know,
Mm.
that, like, we were on
honest about it.
Yeah. We were on like an indie label, and we said, like, we want to be on a major, we want to sign to a major, we want to, you know, make a really important big LP, and we want a lot of time to do it, and it all came true. But I think, you know, most bands, like a lot of indie bands, really try and give themselves like credibility, no sellout. When they start, they're never going to sign to a major. They're never going to do this and do that, and they all do it. You know,
in the end,
and it's those little lies that they always continually feed themselves, that they are like still remaining pure, and the little things get so loud.
In the end, they just lose their audience anyway by signing to a major or something, because they've said all these things and then they go sell out.
That's why we said from the start, you know, that we could never sell out anybody, because we said we want to be the biggest band in the world. So our fans know, you know, we could never sell them out.
I mean, even bands like, you know, really boring when we sort of criticise other bands now, but a band like Carter, when they started off, that, you know, they would only do 7 inches and they wouldn't sign to a major, and then they leave like Rough Trade, right, as they in financial problems, they leave their other label when they're in financial problems. They start like putting big up, don't buy bootleg t-shirts when you buy ours, and it's all like
re-release millions.
You know, we haven't got a problem with that at all. It's just that they still continually will say like, oh, we're not like that, and they've signed to a major. You know, they've done all the things.
People should realise they are a product. You know, it's all you are. When you're in a band, when you start to write songs, that's what all it is. You've got to be marketed.
Even a band like who sort of quite respect and have always been really good people, like Mega City 4, they said they would only ever make 7 inches, and like, you know, they just forced not to, and like bands should just realise
they did, you know, they do believe that, but in the end, you can't
exactly.
just 7 inches don't sell.
Exactly, and like that's what we were always like really honest with ourselves, that we realised that once you're in a band, there's no point. It's only worth being pure about the really important things that matter. You can't be too completely tunnel visioned that, you know, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to. If they were forced to sign to like a major, and they were forced to release 12 inches, that's the way the world is.
You know, we know our album's going to stick at the same feature in repeat, Love to in Exile, and what have you.
Yeah.
Like, the only pure things is our songs, the artwork, and the way we look. You know, that's all we care about. Everything else is immaterial.
Like, we just got much more pissed off with like other things. It was never a big deal that, oh, we might have to make a 12 inch. Like, we fucking used to buying 12 inches when we were really young, but then, you know, every band's got to do it. So, you know, bands used to be on like 8-track cartridges, something to be said. If you really want to stay pure true.
Were you surprised at how many people you did piss off at the beginning? Because, I mean, the reaction, how quickly this has all happened. I mean, it must have surprised
It was
you.
because we weren't even saying anything different that we were like, just would say to ourselves. I mean, it was because we were from such a small place that all little things irritated us, and when we were saying it to journalists or whatever, they were like, fucking hell. You know, it's just a surprise.
And we never shock ourselves because we lived with each other for so long. Everything we say just seems normal. Everything, you know, like saying we're going to have #1 in America just seemed normal to us. And people were going, you know, they're arrogant.
I mean, the thing that did shock us was when, like, one of the few times we ever went out, when we went down places like the Underworld, one night and seeing like every single sort of enemy band all drinking together at the same table. You know, there was like seriously about 8 or 9 of them all having a drink with friends, and that's what really surprised us because we so the ideas of bands, you know, sort of like on their own, it wasn't like such a big sort of happy
celebration.
Which it was.
Do you ever regret anything you've done or said in the, the last couple of years?
Not really. No, not at all.
There's no point, regretting anything. Everything we said, we believed at the time anyway. We still believe most of it.
Yeah. So what do you think of the whole music scene at the moment, with bands like Nirvana and things getting in the charts and all that kind of stuff? I mean, it's definitely going to open the doors for a lot of other bands, and the whole thing seems to be
I just think it's
building up.
I mean, it's like a year ago, music was completely one-sided. The charts were completely full of like sort of hardcore dance, and now it's completely polarized between like metal, rock, whatever you want to call it, and hardcore dance again. Like the biggest episode every week, it's either something like Nirvana or like the Prodigy, and I think it's much better when you've got a choice.
No, Nirvana are a really important band. The only thing is that they're so credible just because they got an indie background. I don't think their lyrics say anything more than your average metal band, in all honesty. And I do find that it's all a bit too just credible.
The one thing which
I know what you mean.
The one thing which is people at the sort of like supposedly really cool music papers like Enemy, Melody Maker can really justify and think they like ultra hip for like Nirvana, but if this was like their first LP on Geffen, they'd have been completely dismissed. They wouldn't even get like a paragraph in the papers, but because they come from like sub pop, it's like they're the little baby that sort of got big.
And to compare them with Guns N' Roses is just completely off the mark.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe it.
It's definitely a rock band, but in a totally different way to Guns N' Roses.
I'd still give me Axl any day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Nirvana or anything?
No. We've seen hardly any bands, in all honesty. We're terrible cripples for going out.
I mean, like, who would ever want to come? We've never been back to play where we come from. We've never played within, 30-mile radius of where we come from. Just no bands ever play there.
What do people think? I mean, your friends from where you come from and stuff like that, what do they think of what's happened and all this kind of stuff?
We never had that many friends.
Yeah, the few we got, it's still, they don't think a band is big really until they're like U2 or something. People we bond with are really ordinary.
Yeah.
So they don't care about the Enemy and stuff like that. With the album, it'll probably be the first time they'll see us.
Yeah. So they have.
The only bands back home that really matter, most ordinary kids, is just like big bands like U2 that they like. Or for anybody else, it's still like all these really dodgy glam metal bands that like nobody's ever heard of. We didn't even know what they are.
Tiger Tails.
Yeah, like the Hannah Rock's legacy is just really big. And these bands like don't play dance. They're all big.
Really?
Yeah.
So I mean, lyrically on this album, I mean, both of you write the lyrics, don't you?
Yeah.
So I haven't actually seen a lyric sheet or anything like that yet.
Oh, Philip, there's Philip going upstairs. I'm trying to sort one out.
I mean, he gave me a photocopy, I haven't had a chance to read it yet. He gave it to me as I got in, but
that's good.
I mean, if you sort of like, what kind of stuff are you dealing with and all? Go into a bit about the lyrics.
One thing about the album is like, there's no compromise lyrically at all. Everything we wanted to say, we've said.
I mean, the one type of band that always really bored us, stupid in the 80s, was kind of like Red Wedge, sort of party political, just thinking about specific clauses, because we never thought that kind of music could change anything. It was much more broader, just about, like most young kids in this country, just when you're a teenager, you're just completely bored, and you reach a point in your life where nothing matters, you've got no sense of value, you don't really care about anything, you just want something to find some work in your life, and that's what most of the songs are about, really.
Culture, alienation, boredom and despair.
Like if there are specific songs, there's a song called Christmas Kiss, which is just about religion.
Yeah.
But it sounds really stupid when you say things like that.
Nat West.
Yeah.
Nat West, Barclays, Midland Lloyd's is obviously about blacks.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like, Repeat is like, an anti-monarchy, more than like an anti-sort of British heritage song. And like, a lot of people, said to us like the Enemy review we got was really stupid because it's got like sun headlines. But that was the whole point of the song. That they just said things like Death Sentence Out in Death Camp Palace, just really obvious things. It's like a band that never really interested us was a band like R.E.M. who were like so arty and the lyrics were so avant-garde and like nobody got a fuck what's going on. And
we never wanted to cloak our lyrics in imagery and stuff like that. We never say we're intellectuals. Our lyrics just what everybody thinks, really. We always just want to reflect people's boredom.
Well, that's the difference between like you and sort of Guns N' Roses. definitely sort of make an effort in your lyrics.
Yeah.
It seems to be really important to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just me and Richie's job, you know. We see it as just as important as anything else. For us, the lyrics is a dead art, really, not even dying art. No one.
It's just refreshing to have a band that's got something to say anyway, because
Yeah.
so many bands haven't got anything to say at all.
You know, that's why we just thought rock music would be the perfect medium for a vehicle of, you know, saying what you feel.
I mean, the first song on the LP, Slash and Burn, like what few people have heard it so far just went, oh, it was just all about like running down the street, slashing and burning. And like, it's not about that at all. I mean, Slash and Burn were just a type of primitive economy where you just basically work, eat, and that's all you can afford to do. Like, you just completely chained to that cycle in your life. And all we just went was like, most people now, no matter what scientific progress you got, most people's lives are not basically that much different. You know, you've got more little toys to play with, but you still got no total freedom. You're still like tied to the economy. Instead of like being tied to like famine and pestilence and plague, you're just tied to need a device things. No, just no different. And when you think that this century you've had two huge world wars, you've had collapses of empire all across the world, and still life for most people is no different. You know, for an average person, their lives are, you know, you're warmer, you know where you've got a place to live in, but that's it.
You know, every song on the album as well, you know, it's a gatefold and everything like that, and every song has got a quote. And those quotes, you know, illustrate the songs probably better than ever we could, because they're by, you know, articulate writers. Each song just illustrates what the song is about.
So what other singles are being released for this album? Is it, you've redone Like You Love Us?
Yeah, it'll probably be another Invented Disease.
Yeah.
Next one, Motorcycle Happiness, and perhaps Little Baby Nothing.
Yeah.
Now, as far as we can see, there's plenty of singles on there. We
Oh,
don't
yeah,
ashamed to
definitely.
release them. You know, this is an 18-track album. You know, they can release it. We want people to hear it. You know, stuff like Motorcycle and Little Baby Nothing, we think we could really cross over in, you know, just to the Housewives market.
Extreme.
You know.
Extreme.
Radio friendly.
Yeah. And the last song on this called Condemned to Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
It's like Led Zeppelin, 6-minute epic.
I just hope you cross over to the rock audience completely, because if you get that audience,
Yeah.
because that audience is just fucking huge.
I know, that's what
That's
you
the
said.
thing. The indie audience, I mean, it's compared to the rock audience, it's just it's irrelevant completely.
Like
I like a
Skid
lot
Row.
of indie bands in the indie audience, but in size,
It's nothing.
it's nothing. It's irrelevant.
They do see true worth in music, and that's why people think they're dumb fucks, but you know, they're more sensitive about music than any other fans go, and they do really take time. And every rock fan knows all the lyrics, even if they're shit.
I mean, the one thing which always used to piss us off is that, like, so many like indie bands, they get so much credit and worth attached to the lyrics, and we could never find much worth in them. And even just what people assume is the most like dumb fuck metal band, you can always find one song about like when you were a young kid, when you were like really happy, or some old friend. It's that we could identify with that much more than, you know, song about. Yeah.
You know, sort of Hanoi Rock's loser type ethic in a lot of the lyrics is just much more important to us than indie bands talking about their girlfriends and stuff like that. It's just totally passed us by.
So have you been caught up in the whole music industry machine now? Have you having to deal with all these record company people? Is it pissing you off yet?
Well, you know, we just say what we want, and we do everything we want, and then we just leave it to them, basically.
Yeah.
We have everything we've wanted. We've got, you know, every cover. I mean, they released repeat. You know, they didn't even ask twice about it.
Oh, that's really cool.
But the best thing about them is that they are really. I mean, Columbia has been a bit really shit record company for, you know, probably the last 5 years or so. So like, you know, Beverly Craven, no young bands, and they're really thankful that, like, we can go in there and we go, this is your artwork, these are the lyrics, this is what we want to do, and they haven't got to do anything.
It just
you know?
makes their job
I don't
easier.
question anything really.
Yeah, you know, and they just, instead of having to spend, you know, like a couple of months just coming down to the studio every time, just, you know, is this a good sleeve, is this a good sleeve, we got this as a sleeve, and they, you know, they're really happy about it, because at the end of the day, most people record companies don't give a fuck about
Oh,
it.
it's cool that they released repeat as a single, because a lot of record companies would have said no way.
Yeah, no. Probably an indie label wouldn't have released
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, did it get much airplay? And cause most probably played Love Sweet.
Yeah, everybody played Love Sweet
And it was
Exile,
really,
whatever.
we were doing stuff like, I was doing a
Radio 5.
Radio 5 just some minute ago with Carol Keaton and releasing a single, and like, they play it and it's like,
Take it off quick. You're on the wrong side on.
but that happened quite a lot, you know.
Yeah.
Not on Radio 1, but on sort of every other station.
Did you get any shit when you were on The Word and you're supposed to play Lost Street XL
Yeah.
and to repeat. Did you get any shit for that?
No, they just
I think everybody knew really
Yeah.
what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Natural.
It must be good fun doing things like that, definitely.
Yeah, it
Pissing
is.
people off.
It is. It's
Great hobby.
still probably the thing that gives us the best. Baron writing the songs.
I should have lots of fun doing things like that in America and Japan and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we just can't.
I mean,
wait.
even people that like really hate us and despise us if we shit bad know that we really do care about what we do and what we say. They know it's not just like bullshit.
I think people have definitely realised that it's not all mouth anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it does piss me off. People don't even recognise. Me and Richey have never said we're particularly brilliant musicians, but like the guitar in that album, James is, better than any of
Brilliant.
it.
I mean, I think it's excellent, yeah.
Steve Brown, who did the album, said, he's 10 times better than Billy Duffy already.
Yeah.
And he's only 22.
Yeah,
it
it
does
used to be really frustrating because, like, especially in the whole indie scene, when you first started in people, it used to be like some kind of crime to like the Manic Street Preachers if you told somebody you liked them.
I know.
Oh, fuck that shit, they can't play.
I know.
Go and fucking see them. And then someone would go and see them and go, fucking hell, they're really good.
But we got reviewed on Round Table on Friday, and like they all liked us.
Yeah, I heard that actually. Yeah.
And then somebody phoned in and went, they can't play it. And I said, well, who the fuck is?
Who was the girl? There's one girl on it that was saying, oh, it's far too energetic for me, I need to hide under the
Julia
table. or
Ford.
something. That was really cool.
But that did really just piss us off. Because if you anybody who's in the music press know that you can get as many front covers as you like and interviews every single week. And if people actually don't like the music, you never get in the charts.
No.
I mean, we've seen plenty of bands that get front covers and total blanket press coverage, but never get in the top 40. And people think, they go shit songs, nobody likes the music, and they do. We get shitloads of letters upstairs. We get, loads every day now.
We always wanted to be songwriters, at the start. Anyway, we always liked the things we really admired, like Exile on Main Street and London Calling, all those classic, rock and roll albums.
Yeah.
That's all what we always wanted. People. Me and Richey are pretty. We do probably let them down sometimes because we think lyrics are our job. People just got to accept that. James was guitar, Sean is the drummer. We're just the lyricists.
I mean, even like the early singles we were making, if people were saying like they were really basic and that, one thing at the start, we might have had a lot of press, but we had no money spent on us at all. We had shit equipment, and like you like go and record like 3 songs, the Motor Junkie EP, and like you got a day and a half to do it. It was like couldn't do anything more. We were just like not sleeping, just record all the time. It wasn't like a big, we'll be in the studio for a month and that's what we do.
Like with the album, we had every bit of equipment we wanted.
Yeah.
All the piano players, string arrangements, got everything we wanted, and that's why it sounds so much bigger.
Yeah.
Like when we did we put like Press with like New Art Riot, and like Ian Damaged Goods would put the record out, he just went like, I got 200 quid, that's all I can afford to pay to record it, and you got to do 4 songs. It's like, can't exactly do very much for that. Like, there's lots of things.
Still quite a good record, though.
Yeah, there's lots of things James would have wanted to do. So that's why I always like, especially James gets really frustrated when people would say things like, no, they can't play.
James and Sean, like Brian Jones and Phil Spector, they're completely wrapped up in music, every single facet of it. Sean composes in music, he's classically trained and everything. It does really piss us off. No one recognises that.
I think they will when they hear this album.
Yeah.
They can't not really. I mean, it's just going to shock a lot of people because they're going to be expecting
there's going to be
18
crisis.
punk songs.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be.
But the Enemy will probably cry like they sold out.
That's the thing. I think a lot. I mean, probably. I don't know how Enemy and Melody Maker are going to
It's just going to be
take to it.
strange.
Really, it is going to be weird, definitely. Because it's definitely,
No, we're just.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what they say about
It
it.
will be exciting.
I think the rock press are going to really like it, though. I think
Yeah,
you're going
I
to get
mean,
good reviews in Kerrang and
I do as
Raw.
well.
I mean, there's millions of rock magazines.
Yeah,
now,
all of them,
about
yeah.
7 or 8. So I mean,
They all sell well as well. They're all really glossy.
you've got to start getting some covers there as well.
Yeah.
Have you had much stuff in Kerrang? And I don't think you've been
Just-
covering Kerrang. at all.
No, we just did a couple of single reviews.
Single reviews.
The Tracy Gens reviewed this.
Yeah.
I think said those guys, what a cool name.
Yeah.
That you really liked it.
Because I mean, they're starting to wake up to the band as well. Because I've been trying to get you in the magazine in ages, and they're only just starting to realise. I actually had to sit down and play them the album. And say, look, it's a fucking rock band for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's not an indie band. I said, well, do rock people go to their gigs? I'm like, no, not yet, but they will do.
Yeah, I mean.
So things are definitely changing. It's
Yeah,
cool.
we have got a lot lined up, in the next couple of weeks.
Mm.
Things will just start getting better.
Well, I hope the tour goes well. How many dates is it in England?
It's 20.
20.
20. You're doing the story as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
It'd be weird seeing you on a big stage like that.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm really confident about this tour. There was no point in us booking into huge halls because we want to do that for the second half when the album's out, you know, when more people know songs and stuff.
Yeah. The story is quite a big place though. Is that? I mean, what's the biggest place you've played so far?
Hibernian, we go 1,000.
Yeah, that place is quite big.
Just over 1,000.
But I think like most of our worst concerts were in London, really. Apart from like the Marquee, which is quite.
Yeah.
Only there's just like there's always like lots of people from the record company and other record companies like in
Liggers.
Whenever
it's
there's
like that Marquee show.
Yeah, whenever there's a show in London, every record company just comes and sees a band if they've had a bit of press, you know.
Yeah.
And they all suddenly go, "No, I no wonder we didn't sign it." So why did it bother?
Guess this is huge.
Yeah.
That Marquee show was good fun though.
Yeah,
the Yamaha one.
One of our favourites.
Total chaos.
That was.
Excitement of a riot.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
I thought the whole place was going to get torn down.
I wish it's close when
Started ripping all that stuff off the walls and stuff.
There was a polystyrene.
Did many of the gigs turn out like that?
Yeah. So more of them that do the better it is really.
Oh yeah, you should definitely encourage the audience to break things.
Yeah. I wish they'd do it all the time. People are still
People go home with more of a memory then, instead of just going
Yeah.
to see a band, watch a set, have a couple of drinks, go home. If they're going to their gig and they're being told to smash the place up.
I mean, people still are a bit reserved, I think, at any
Well,
concert.
yeah, it shocks people. If there's like a bunch of school kids in the crowd or college kids and they're being told by a band to smash the venue up or all this stuff, it's like...
I just think like the 80s lowered standards so much that
Yeah.
after like 10 years, people just didn't expect anything anymore. They didn't demand anything from themselves or from a band. They just expected to get a tube, see a show, go home.
Yeah, people forgot that rock and roll could be exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, so many bands just played it safe.
Totally.
Just did the safe things and didn't say anything or do anything out of order or...
No, it's almost, you can realise now that it is easy to make a living and being in a band.
Yeah.
At such a small level. It's not a hard thing to do.
I think all the sort of like crap dead word of the indie scene proved that. Like a band like James can hang around for like 8 years and still actually have a chart single, and nobody ever sort of will dismiss them. They sort of get more credibility just for doing that. It just means for 8 years everybody thought they were shit. It means that nobody's interested in buying their records.
Yeah, it's weird. That should do. That's enough there.